This is actually you rightly say that talent is grown from a very young age, and that is exactly what kids do. So the so
Yeah.
kids are actually there to nurture this talent, and it is the job of these organizations to nurture the said talent, as you mentioned. So what kids basically do is what you said. They find these people. They see who is maybe more athletic due to build, etc., and then they nurture them. I didn't get enough time to elaborate more on this, but I guess I should have. But this is basically why kids are there for.
Sir, and not just that, Sanish in his speech has also mentioned about how the Russians and the Germans and even the Americans do genome testing to the kids. And it's a very common thing in highly developed countries where as soon as a child enters this world, there is a genome testing which is done in most of the developed cities where people already find the genes that are indicators for high performance, for high sports endurance, and are promising talents for the future. He did not elaborate on the point, but when he mentioned about Russia and Germany, that's precisely what we're talking about. They've been doing it from the 1970s, and that's precisely, and for them, earning medals in Olympics is a huge thing, which is why they put the efforts that they do to find talents. And TIDS as a topic, it's a huge one. It's done in the NFL, it's done in the NBA, it's done in the Premier League, it's done by all football clubs in the whole world. Manchester United, Barcelona, they have huge youth systems in South America, which is precisely why you get the talent that you do. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So
One.
yeah, so in my opening speech, I did talk about academies, about how players like Messi and Ronaldo rose up to the ranks because they were given a chance by the academies. Along with that, I mentioned that in Kenya, a lot of young people in the rural areas of Kenya, they are compelled to run to their schools on a day-to-day basis, which is what causes a development in them for running.
Okay.
Karna, do you have something to say?
No, I think we have established our stance enough.
All right. Thank you. Kartika, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I would just like to first say that both the teams really did well on their part. And it was actually great to be part of this, coming back from college, thinking that, yeah, we were part of this and now we are judging it. So it's quite a thing to remember. Manas, I just have a specific question because you talked about Michael Phelps. So this is something which I wanted to ask you. There are examples of Joseph Schooling, if you might know, or even Dress, Caleb Dress. So he is also representing USA. So they are not as talented or God gifted, or you can say something like that. But the records held by them or the time that they have beaten Michael Phelps is not when he was towards the decline of his phase, but currently the records are held by Caleb's for 50 meter, 100 meter, which freestyle, which was actually what Michael Phelps' main events were during his prime. So that has also gone down. And if you talk about the wingspan, that is also less than what Michael Phelps had. So what do you have to say on that?
Correct, sir. Thank you so much for this question. Caleb's, as you mentioned, uh, because of epigenomics, luckily I was going through an article which was related to Michael Phelps, and I've also read that his V2O endurance, I think I've mentioned it. If you want me to give you a correct this thing, just 1 second, sir. Where was that? Yeah, VO2 max, which is normally used as a humongous genetic tool for swimmers. Caleb had that in abundance. It was 1.88 times more than a normal Olympian, which is precisely why he is good at what he does. Honestly, I feel that there are athletes who do not have genetic advantage, but the point that we're trying to make over here is that the major chunk in the world right now among elite athletes have some sort of genetic advantage. Let it be geographical advantage, which is known as epigenomics, as mentioned by Karuna, or a inheritant genetic advantage like what Michael Phelps has, like what Usain Bolt has in terms of a long torso or in terms of their hard muscle fibers. Genomics as a concept it's a huge subject. But when you actually look at it, champions are trained, but only the selected champions are trained. Not everyone is trained, and that's precisely what we're trying to say. The selected ones are the ones who have an advantage in terms of genomics. Thank you.
Well noted, Manas. Actually, I was looking for something like that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Fine. So no other questions, judges?
Go ahead, Ronak.
Yeah, sorry. I'm actually logged in from my browser, so I have to keep finding my browser to unmute myself. Anyway, so I had another question. So this is again an open question, and I would like Mihira and Karuna to answer this first. Just coming back closer to home, I just want to understand your opinion. So more recent, very recent, the golden boy of India, Neeraj Chopra. So I just want a minute or two from either teams to justify that Neeraj Chopra has been able to win a gold medal because of his hard work versus because of him being genetically so beautiful in athletics.
Karuna, do you want to do this or?
How about you conclude my statement, because I'm not very well aware on this, but I think I've got the gist of it.
We had discussed about this, so go ahead.
Yeah. So Neeraj Chopra, he is a guy who is trained extensively well, and he is a guy who is, he's not like it. Here is a guy, it's a prime example of how hard work takes over talent, because he's worked extensively for 4 years. And in fact, in the finals, this German guy was supposed to win because he had like a better advantage, better stats. I don't remember his name. But he was the one who was supposed to win, but it was the consistency that paid him off. And I think Neeraj Chopra, he was the one who finally won, and it was all hard work that was transformed into a gold medal, which again comes back to the point of nurturing, where the amount of hard work you put in, the amount of training that you put in, that automatically translates into success, some success, if not all. But naturally, God-given abilities or natural gifts, they don't always translate to success unless and until you put the nurture factor in together. And which is why when we are determining at the end of the day, when we are determining if a player is supposed to be deemed to be great, then the determining factor cannot be natural abilities. It has to be the training and the hard work, because that's what makes all the difference. Thank you.
Manas, let me answer this.
I have something to add.
Okay, sure. Sorry.
It's just 1 or 2 sentences. One is related to the previous question. Well, Joseph Schooling also defeated Michael Phelps, and he had a time of just over 50 seconds. And he did it at a very young age without a clear genetic advantage. So there is that. And second, Neeraj Chopra, he came from humble beginnings and he worked very hard. He got noticed. That is why he got an opportunity to go abroad, where his talent was nurtured very well, and that is what led him to the goal. Thank you.
Just to add on one last thing, like this is a prime example of talent development, as you mentioned. Thank you.
Yeah, so can I start now? So yeah, just one thing. So Neeraj Chopra, so when we talk about developing talent, nurturing talent, it happens from a young age. If someone puts in the hard work, if you are saying nurturing, if you're nurturing someone, that happens from a very young age. You start developing that talent, you join an athletics academy from a very young age. But this wasn't the case for Neeraj Chopra. I don't know if most of you know, Neeraj Chopra actually was from the Indian Army. And one fine day, he just threw the javelin and it went across everyone else's. And even Neeraj Chopra's, the army javelin coach was shocked, because prior to this, Neeraj Chopra had no training in javelin throw. In fact, he couldn't afford it. He was from a very, I won't call backward, but from a very humble family. They were farmers. He had no prior training in javelin throw. This is exactly what talent is. Neeraj Chopra did not train from 5 years old. He did not join a fancy academy. In fact, he joined an academy after his coach, his army coach forced him to, because he was like, bro, you're too good at this. You need to, make a career into this. So Neeraj Chopra did not train. Neeraj Chopra, in fact, hadn't even touched a javelin before joining the army. And this is exactly what talent is, right? When you talk about nurturing a talent, you do it from a very young age. You have, from a grassroots level. That is what nurturing means. Starting from a grassroots level. Neeraj Chopra just threw the javelin randomly at one fine day, and they just saw ki, damn, he threw it pretty damn good. And that is exactly what talent is all about.
All
That is
right, just
exactly
adding
what
on to
talent
that,
is about.
I will not emphasize on Neeraj Chopra's story because I do not know his story. But I'd like to say one thing. None of us know what genetic advantage Neeraj Chopra has because we have not tested it. Indian Olympics Federation as such, I don't know if they conduct these tests. I know that in the Europe, I know that in the America, they do it. They do it and they check who are the people who have an advantage and then they nurture them accordingly. Madam, and I am not saying that they should not be nurtured. I'm just saying that nurturing is a secondary factor. Once you spot the talent, once you figure out that this person might give you a gold medal because of his genetic advantage or because of his epigenetic advantage, then they are nurtured. So the secondary factor over here, as mentioned time and again, is nurturing. The primary factor is the talent. And Ronak, so that's pretty much how I'd like to wrap this up.
Got it. Thank you so much. I think that was great. Overall feedback is something else I'll give after Kartike's, but just wanted to point one thing out for Sainish here that Neeraj Chopra did not pick up javelin after being in the army. He has been throwing the javelin, I think, since the age of 11 or 12. When he used to go to the gymnasium to lose weight. And in fact, he got enrolled in the army under sports quota so that he can get the proper training and guidance to be an Indian athlete, to represent India at international games. So just
apologies.
Yeah, I know that it was a fault from I had maybe confused with some other stuff.
Apologies.
No worries, no worries. Kartika, you can go ahead.
Just 1 second before that, Mihir, do you have an argument or do you have a question?
No, but it was the same correction that Ronak sir made.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah. So Mihir, just one thing. I was looking for that Joseph Schooling answer during that rebuttaling rather than you pointing out after me asking that question. And second thing, it's a very like I am into a lot of cricket, so this will be one from them for both the teams. So for it's just for my understanding that what you get it from the game or something like that. So is Rohit Sharma naturally talented, or is it what he has made of himself by working hard?
Sir, again,
yeah, Manas, you go ahead first.
Yeah. Sir, we cannot give you an answer just like that. When it comes to natural talent, I do not know the story of Rohit Sharma, whether he was spotted at the age of 6, whether he was spotted at the age of 5, or whether he just directly came into limelight because of the recent revelation of IPL, brought a lot of normal players into the limelight because of their power hitting ability, because of how sharp they are behind the wickets, because of their fielding abilities, or because of let's say how Basil Thampi came into the spotlight because of his Yorkers. Everyone has their own story, and I do not know Rohit Sharma's story, but if he was spotted at a young age, if he was brought into light in Mumbai, if he's from Mumbai at a young age, I think it was Dadar where he started playing. I saw some Netflix documentary. Then that means his talent was spotted by one of the cricket clubs, and that shows that he is gifted. If someone starts playing like a pro against an 8-year-old guy like Maradona was playing under 14 and under 16 at that age, that's how you spot talent, and then you train them to take them to the pro level. So the answer, I cannot give you a definitive answer, sir, but if we go back and check Rohit Sharma's story, then I think we'll get the right answer, whether it was hard work or whether it was his talent which made him what he is.
Okay, can I answer?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So as it happens, Rohit Sharma was born in the same district as I was, so his story is pretty famous in our place. So what happened was he moved to Mumbai. He moved to, I believe, Borivali, And at the age of 12, his grandfather or one of his uncles sent him to a cricket camp, and instantly he got hooked onto cricket. And after that, his talent was honed. Not even talent, I'd call it his interest was honed. And it mainly came down to hard work. He went to the camp, he worked hard, he was spotted by many people. Then he made his way to the youth academies. He played for, I believe, Central Zone. If I okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he played for Central Zone. And then he made his way to national to the national team, and now he is what he is. So at the end of the day, we believe that it is how he was nurtured from that first cricket camp, how he was nurtured.
We
is
have to
what
note
makes
that
what it is.
subconsciously he said talent without even.
No, let's come to it. Now, nobody is denying the talent factor of it. Again, what is deeming, again, the determining factor here of what is deeming a player great is not just the talent, and nurturing takes precedent over talent is what we are trying to establish. Obviously, if
The
you're a
debate
player,
is done,
you have to
ma'am.
have,
The debate
if you
is
have
done.
to have, if you have to have
You
a
can debate
deciding
me the whole
factor.
night. Let's finish it. It's 10:30.
Guys,
It was
I will
just a
have
question.
to ask you all to keep your answers short now. Because
Thank you so much.
as you all mentioned, it's already 10:30. So yes.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Just from my point of view, Rohit Sharma was a talent which did not live up to its caliber for a long time, and it was his hard work which brought him up. So that was for me. Uh, that's it from my side.
Awesome. Just a general feedback, guys. I think it was amazing. Again, thanks to the organization committee for having us here. And congratulations to both the teams for making it to the finals, and well deserved as well. I think the amount of hard work that all four of you all had put in was very visible. Your points were good, they were up to the mark. The rebuttal was quite good as well, and also the questions that you guys asked each other were to the point and were picking up points from each other's speeches, which is what we like to see, because if we keep it close, if we keep it within the conversation that we are having, it makes sense, because that way we can at least figure out who has that upper hand against others, right? Versus we going in all directions and not knowing where the crux of the debate is. Just a general feedback that at times, obviously, the ones who debates are diplomats, but your diplomacy was a little too much, maybe at times, where if you are sticking to a point, if you are saying that hard work it is, then you have to say hard work it is. You can't keep saying time and again that yeah, okay, talent is there, but hard work is something that is developing them. And same goes to the other team as well. When you stick to talent, you need to bring out everything that justifies why talent is something that brings the player to the top, irrespective of whether he or she is performing day in day out, if they are having those hard hours in the gym or not, if they're training or not. So again, it's not that you were wavered off, but at times there was when you're agreeing to the other person that yeah, okay, talent is something that is bringing up, or you're saying that yeah, training is essential, although limited, but training is essential. So maybe you can restrict yourself there and just stick to what you're trying to justify. Other than that, I think it was great. At points maybe you just emphasized a little too much to just cross the fine line of language, but again, not something too drastic. So that is something definitely we need not see with hard eyes. But overall, it was great, and great way for me to spend my Thursday evening. So thank you so much for making it to the finals and participating and putting up a good show for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just to add to what Ronak said, first of all, congratulations to both of you. And to be very true, it was really great for me listening both of the teams. And I cannot be as judgmental, or I cannot give a feedback what Ronak gave, but he actually summed up everything. So I need not to say anything more. But thank you guys and all the best. And you both did really great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. So that brings us to the final end of the finale of the sports debate. Thank you so much for participating. And this has been streamed live on YouTube as well. So you can go back and check it out as well. Other than that, I guess that's it. You all can leave the meeting. Participate.
I would just like to conclude this event by giving a few
Yeah, go ahead.
statements. After a roller coaster of an event and a lot of hard work put in by both the organizing team and the participants, we were able to create an event that was not only exciting but also engaging. The turnout for this event was impressive. Firstly, I would like to thank the participants for performing brilliantly and bringing this event to the next level by showing the talent powerhouse that our college is. Secondly, I would like to thank our judges for not only taking out their precious time to oversee this event, but also lending us their expertise. We would also like to thank our teachers and our dean for granting us permission to organize this event. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, guys. Great event. Had fun.
Great.
Jeez.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Talent powerhouse. Talent. Kanksha said it.
Talent powerhouse.
Ronak sir said in the last feedback, your hard work is visible. So
मिहिर तू क्या बोलता है आधे चीजें समझ नहीं आता है
Okay, guys, good work.
चुप बोल के खत्म